as Africa's largest economy and most populous nation, Nigeria's ability to plan, allocate, and execute its budget effectively is crucial for driving sustainable development and improving the living standards of its people. Year after year, Nigeria's budgeting system is faced with issues ranging from revenue projections to delayed approvals. One of the primary concerns is the persistent problem of budget implementation. What are the issues? Let's look at what's even on ground at the moment, and I'm being joined by the co-founder, CEO Budget, Mr. Seun Onigbinde. Good afternoon, Mr. Onigbinde, and thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure being here today, Tolu. Mr. Nono, I feel so excited to be here. Yes.
I think it's very important we start with this issue around the supplementary budget and or implementation of a budget already on ground, which there's been argument around saying the government is running 3-4 budgets and all of that, but government has come to say no, that is not what is happening. What is your understanding of this?
I mean, the government can say no to that, but facts are facts, and facts are facts because there was a 2024 budget that was signed and approved into law. There was a 2023 budget that should have terminated December last year that was extended. There is a 2023 supplementary budget that was presented by the Tinubu administration upon assumption of power. So by the time we put that together now, there's a 2024 supplementary budget being worked upon again. So technically we have 3 budgets running now, and we have an extra one that might come. And we say that's like what we've termed as an unprecedented anomaly. It doesn't make sense if any budget. And it's not as if we're making this statement alone. If you look at the debates at the National Assembly, Honorable Kingsley Chinga and Honorable Adedogu also made this point that if you want to have if you think that some part of 2023 budget that has not been delivered, all you need to do is take items from those projects. You can't say the whole of 2024 budget, 2023 budget, you can't say all of that budget is outstanding. No. If you have priority items in that budget that you have gotten appropriation for previously, take all of those items, put them in the pile, fix them according to their ministries, and submit it as a supplementary budget for 2024. And the National Assembly can graciously expedite the process for the approval of that budget. That's what it should have been. Now, when you say the 2023 budget for approval, capital project is still extended to 2020.
Yes, that's what we have here, extending the capital section of the 2023 supplementary budget. That has been moved on so as to be able to execute some capital projects.
If you say that is happening, if you say you're moving back to 2024, what you see is that a lot of items in that budget that have no bearing, no support for Nigerian system, no help for the Nigerian system, some of those items will still be implemented. Because I'm giving a blanket check for civil servants to look into that budget. For items that might have been forgone, for items that might have been underfunded, to still bring them back again. The government should take control of this fiscal policy. The government is not holding that firmly as of today. It seems that the citizens or the certain interests are pushing the president to say, go just do that. The proper way is to coalesce all of those items, put them in the supplementary budget, so that you have 2 budgets running, 2024 budget and a supplementary budget. Why are we trying to bring back 2023 budget? The 2023 budget was a political budget. It was a transition budget. It didn't have enough capital projects. A lot of them were mismanaged. A lot of them was mismatched. So with that, a supplementary budget that we need, that a chunk of that budget will also to settle in, to buy cars, to buy things for First Lady, to renovate state houses. All of that. Why are you bringing that back again? You already have a whole full 2024, but you have a real chance for 2024 to do that in the proper way. So I think something is wrong with the budgeting and the fiscal policy of the government. Let's not deny it. Let's not lie about it.
Well, let's look at how this the budget cycle itself. Before we used to talk about the January to December budget cycle. So it seems that with what is on ground, we are not on that circle. And what does that mean to projections ahead of this budget itself?
Yeah, I mean, there's a problem with budget the revenue credibility. Because now, if you have revenue that you're supposed to tailor into funding the 2024 budget, what you have in a situation like that is that revenue is being fragmented. Because even though you say the budget should go and you're extending the shelf life of those budgets, and saying they should wait till next end of the year. It does not. The revenue has been expended. The revenue has been earned within a particular fiscal. It's the expenditure side that you're expending. So the revenue that's supposed to be able to serve 2024 budget now, you are now fragmenting that revenue under 2023. You're fragmenting that same revenue and spending on 3 budget items, and you're bringing a supplementary budget into it. The propensity for you to increase deficit significantly is going to happen. And if that cannot happen, then you go back to CBN again to get ways and means. So I don't think it's the best use of fiscal policy on the side of the government. These are things that are not supposed to happen. And then you now have the budget calendar. Now you confuse us, people like us are analysts. Because now you would now have, when you now look at 2024 budget performance report, you now see 2023 in 2024 budget, 2023 supplementary budget in 2024 budget. It would just not make sense to say what is the specific period are these resources used for. So for me, I think it tarnishes budget credibility. It fragments use of public revenues, and most importantly, it distorts the entire budget cycle. Because by the time in the previous years, before the Buhari regime, the problem of the budget was that the budget was passed too late. The budget was passed in May, June, during the Goodluck Jonathan era. Then the Buhari government passed into a law that the budget will go from January to December. We're going to have a year, a whole fiscal year period, like January, December. And that sounded good. And they kept to that principle as much as possible. Now, you are now distorting that again by now looking as if we're going to be running a budget for 24 months. It just doesn't make sense. It deserves a high level of protest from the government.
Now, let's move to looking at revenue issues and implementation issues, which is always talked about, because even this document is just a projection, and a lot of revenue challenges that we face in this part of the world. What are you thinking with regards to implementing this document? Of course, flaws are identified, and government is saying no, they are not going that route. But while all of this back and forth continues, what's your lookout even for the document itself, implementing it?
Yeah, implementing the budget will definitely have issues in this current budget. I already explained the fact that revenues will be spent in a discretionary, in a fragmented manner. So there's going to be some difficult challenges with that. Because the whole purpose of the budget is not just to implement items; it's for us to prioritize implementation. That's the whole purpose of the budget. So you want to take a budget and prioritize what you get funded first, because government revenues are finite. They are not. You're not going to. You don't have everything you need. We have projected significant amount in the 2024 budget. We are not going to be possible based on our history. We get less than 50% of the revenues that were projected. Now, maybe with naira devaluation, there's an opportunity to hit that mark. Now, if we hit that mark of revenues, this is how we want to frivolously spend it. Because in a way, you want to now start prioritizing things in 2023, 2024, it just doesn't make sense. So for me, I don't think the implementation will be proper enough. That's why we give challenge. We still don't understand that the budget is the instrument for fiscal control. If whatever we're doing on the macroeconomic, on the monetary side, whatever we're doing at that angle, we're not tying the fiscal part into it properly. Can't get the kind of results that we want.
Indeed. Let's move on. We've talked about implementation and, of course, revenue issues. We see government trying to ramp up when it comes to revenue, but some will still tell you that there's still need for fiscal responsibility across the board. How would you assess that? Let's look at maybe state governments. How are they with regards to proper management at this time when labor is out there talking about increase in minimum wage? And I'm sure you also have that gist. Is it minimum salary or minimum wage? How does all of this come to you?
If you say minimum salary or wage, I think they are just nomenclature issues. I understand if you want to stay within the right definition of salary and of wage. But what we have, because we don't get it, we are not a country where wage is paid on an hourly basis. It's paid on a monthly basis. So we start to choose to call it wage. The definition is to put it that whatever we agree, either 60, 70, or 80,000, is going to be paid on a monthly basis. I mean, that's what is going to be. So I will stick to that. I think for a lot of states, they will struggle with the new minimum wage. And if they don't want to struggle, they have to do some few things right. One is to look at the efficiency of that civil service. Very, very important that civil service are well paid and we get the kind of results that we want. But they must be efficient. They must deliver the goods. So a lot of states are not even paying 30,000. But now they have an advantage because a few months ago, FAC was 500, 600. Now we're talking about FAC in the region, neighborhood of 1.2 trillion naira. So something has really shifted, some things have changed. So it's only time for state government to step up, and pay what they are with due. But I still don't see a lot of states might not be able to pay 70,000. On the fact that if there's fiscal accountability and discipline, those are things that are supposed to be given. They are given. Because, I mean, perception is also as important as reality. Even though you might look at all of this in context, okay, how much does the government spend? Is it going to change the need? But people want to see that you are acting in solidarity with them. You are reducing your wages. You are not living an ostentatious public life. You try as much as possible to identify with the people. And even though those might not be the sole answers into streamlining government expenditure, but people want to see you being part of the process. Then the second stage is now to look at efficiency of your workforce. How many people are you paying the workforce? Are they really efficient? How do you get the best out of them? Those are the kind of questions you need to be. Well, in my own view, I don't think more than 8 states can pay the minimum wage. My own view at 70,000 naira. But states have weak revenues by the time you look at it properly.
Before I let you go, we've identified issues again around our budgeting system. How can a country create or build credibility when it has to do with the budgeting system moving forward?
I mean, it's about institutional leadership. I mean, thankfully, we have a new DG of the budget office, who's a veteran of the system. I mean, who's acted as an economic advisor to the former president, Umaru Yar'Adua. So we're hopefully thinking that, he would step up and he would understand some of these challenges. We are going to make our representations to him. We hope he's able to leverage his political, experience and also pull people in to be able to arrest this. There's so many defective things with our budget. But the fundamental issue with our budget is that it is not seen as an instrument of planning and policy. It's seen from a lens of an opportunity to execute or to legalize use of public funds for contracting. And that's where a lot of people see. If we see our budgeting as an instrument of policy and also of planning, then we'll be able to change this directly. We'll be able to ask ourselves, it's not just about building schools, it's about tracking learning outcomes. We'll be able to, it's not about just refurbishing hospitals, it's about checking the quality of care and quality of life. We'll be able to look at what should be the mandate for health, education, power, and be able to stick by the performance metrics that we've set. So for me, the conversation has to be different. If we want to get the budget right, it must be a tool for planning and for policy. Then we can now look at which agency is supposed to do the right thing and is not doing it. Because we have agencies supposed to be a crop research institute. But you see, constructing road 300, 400 kilometers far from its location site. So many other issues are up. So as budget, we engage a new DG of the budget. We think this is a clean slate, this is a clean opportunity for him to be able to engage the political leadership, the president himself, and also engage members of the National Assembly that we were running public budgets, we are not going to get the kind of answers that we seek. Yeah.
I must thank you so much for your time, Mr. Shehu Onigbinde, co-founder, CEO, Budget. Thank you so much for joining us on the program despite your tight schedule. Wish you a great week.